What's up? 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 What is up? How are y'all doing today? It is Saturday. And I am your host, Emmanuel Noisette. We are going to talk about the entertainment news from the week that maybe you have missed. Either way, we gonna definitely talk about it. We got a couple of things to go through. Disney is getting called out. Okay, Disney's getting called out. We also have some Joker drama, Joker 2. It's still, we're learning some new stuff about what's going on behind the scenes. And we also have to talk about this Green Lantern casting because apparently your boy, yours truly, has ruffled a couple feathers. I don't know. Maybe I said something and then apparently people had an issue with it. So we're gonna talk about it, okay? But we got that, and we'll talk about a couple other things just to give you a quick heads up. And I'm not going to jinx this. I'm not gonna jinx it. I do have to cut this live a little short because I do have to pick up my daughter from a party because the wife is not here, because she got sent away because that was her birthday gift. And shout out to the many of you that have wished her a happy birthday. Thank you so much. Matter of fact, hold on, I gotta make sure I don't miss this, but I want to give a thanks for, who is this? To Low Key, thank you so much. You said for happy birthday, Mrs. Noisette. Thank you for the $50 Cash App. Listen, you helping, okay? Because sending her away for a couple of days so she can have her time. That's thank you. Listen, I thank you, okay? So thank you so much. And I gotta also give a shout out to Rachel. Says here, for keep doing what you do. Thank you so much for the $20 Cash App. I appreciate you as well. All right, so y'all, I can't stay long. I'm gonna try not to. My daughter's out there, so I gotta go pick her up soon. But we still got to talk about these things, so we definitely gonna do that. Let's see. Let's go. Let's give some quick shout outs and then we will get it popping. Who we got? Dex, what is going on? Thank you so much for being here. Paulette, how you doing? Mr. Mitchell, thank you so much for being here. Milan, what is up? DJ Payne, I see you. My man Minister Crush is here. Good to see you. Come on through, Ms. Harper. Thank you so much. And the missus also thanks y'all too. I'm pretty sure she's relaxing somewhere, but I'm sure she's already expressed her thanks to y'all. So thank you. Nelson, appreciate you coming through. Robert, what is up? Steven, thank you for making it out. We got the homie Kristen Pratt holding it down for the Mod Squad. Thank you so much. Tyra, good to see you. My man Corey is back. Treese, how you doing? Thank you so much for being here. We got the homie T-Ville. What is up? Hey, TV. Hey, real quick. I hope y'all ready for From tonight. Okay? Because this episode right here, From. Okay? From. This is for everybody now. From episode 4. Woo! Get ready. Rhonda, what is up? Good to see. Oh, come on through. Mrs. is here. Come on through, Mrs. Thank you so, ma'am. First of all, you're supposed to be relaxing somewhere, But anyway, thank you so much. The queen is here, y'all. I don't know if she's still here. She probably fell asleep. It got dark outside, so she usually be knocked out by now. But shout out to the missus. Thank you so much for being here. Let's see who else. There go Low-Key right there. Appreciate you. Phil Roy, what is up? Ray, what is up? Good to see you. My man Johnny Washington's here. Boogie, what is up? What's going on, Tracy? Thank you for making it out. Kristen, I see you as well. Tasha, thank you so much for being here. Who else? I saw the homie. What there? Where's she at? Bam. Sim, what is up? 60 plus. Good to see you as well. Eric, thank you so much for being here. Theo, good to see you. My man King Chad, how you doing? Talented one, what is up? My thing is jumping around here. There we go. Shauna, good to see you. Terrence, hello. My man Andrew is back. Never fail. What is up? Jesus, thank you so much. My man Mo Show is here. Kimmy J, what is up? Chris, how you doing? And shout out to everybody that has made it out tonight. Is she here? Is she here? Okay, I didn't know if she was here. Um, she might be here. I don't know. Anyway, if she is here, what's up, dear? But all right, so let's get cracking because, like I said, I got daddy stuff I gotta go do. What am I looking at here? JN. JN, I'm gonna save all of that because we're gonna touch on all those a little bit later. So hold those thoughts real quick. All right, so let's go through some quick movie and TV updates. These are, not the biggest of topics, but just a little something for us to kind of go over. Now, I don't know if y'all have been watching this show or not, but some people might feel a type of way. But Velma has officially been canceled after 2 seasons, and HBO Max has now confirmed the news. So if you were watching Velma, I'm so sorry for you. I have not watched this at all. So I don't know what was going on. I don't know what was happening. All I know is that this show was so woke. It was so, I don't know, whatever people's calling it, that people, it was going through that whole normal, typical stuff because, oh my gosh, Velma's not white. People were just like, losing their stuff over this. But this is what I've been trying to tell y'all. Why don't y'all listen to me? Yeah, sometimes people just don't. If you don't watch it, it will just, if it's bad, let's just say it's bad. Let's say the writing is bad, directing, the jokes, all that is bad. If you stop talking about it, and if you stop complaining, it'll go away. Because I don't know anybody that really watched this, and I didn't see a lot of think pieces, but I did see a lot of attention about it because of all the people that were pre-complaining. So, once again, if you are of the mindset that you don't like woke stuff, stop talking about these things. Because the more you talk about them, the more attention you give it, and the more it will probably continue. Now, again, I don't know if this show was good or not. I don't know. As somebody who was not watching it, all I'm saying is I just heard y'all complain about it, and that made it relevant. But if y'all had just been quiet, this might not have even gotten a season 2. So, once again, if you be quiet and you stop complaining, if the show is actually bad, it will just go away. And you'll get your wish. But no, some people just want to be mad. Some people just want to hear themselves talk. And that's the only reason y'all really do this. Y'all just want to hear yourselves talk, and you want to hear yourself be right. But anyway, oh well, Velma's gone. So if anybody watched it, please let me know. What did you think about Velma? Are you sad that it is gone? Whatever you think, let me know in the comments. Oh, okay. So one show dies, another one continues, and it looks like my man Reacher is actually going to get another season. First of all, Reacher only got 2 seasons, but it's already got season 3 coming out in 2025, and they said, you know what? We already got a banger. Go ahead and green light season 4. So season 4 of Reacher is coming. I like Reacher. I had no idea it was going to keep going this much, but I'm not mad. I'm not mad about it either. I watched season 2. Personally, I think season 1 was better than season 2. I'm not a big fan of the whole ensemble thing with Reacher. I like Reacher as a solo, character and how he was doing it, but I wasn't mad. But hey, they're doing a season 4. They must be cooking with something. They must be extra confident to let this keep going. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Have you been watching Reacher? What did you think about season 1 versus season 2? Are you very happy that we're getting a season 4? And we're, even though we haven't seen season 3, like I say, usually this is a green sign. This is a green flag, right? This is usually a good positive sign that a studio is that willing. That means they think they got some hot fire if they gonna green light something that far in advance. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to it though. I'll watch it. So you guys let me know how you feel about that. We talked about this a while ago. There was a new Karate Kid movie that was coming out. This one was gonna have Ralph Macchiano. He was gonna be in it. And it was actually gonna also have Jackie Chan as well. So it seemed like they were kind of bridging the cinematic universe, I guess. But now we actually got a title for it, and the new movie is going to be called Karate Kid Legends. So this will be kind of interesting. I just like the premise. I like that Ralph is back. I like that we got Jackie Chan, from the Jaden, Smith movie or whatever. So I'm interested in seeing, and I think this is also tied to Cobra Kai, if I'm not mistaken. So we now have an official title for it, which is cool. Karate Kid Legends. And sure, now I think there's only one real legend here, and that's Ralph. Even though Jackie Chan is a legend, I don't think the last Karate Kid movie was all that big. I could be mistaken. I could be, but I'm here for it anyway. Who was the girl? Wasn't there a girl Karate Kid as well? That wasn't Jennifer Gardner, was it? I forget who it was, but I feel like they should bring her in too. Whatever. I mean, I didn't watch it. No, I did watch it. I just forgot about it. It was kind of forgettable. But that was a long time ago as well. But I don't know. Hillary Swank. Yes, thank you. I'm not gonna lie. I get Hillary Swank and Jennifer Gardner mixed up all the time. I don't know why, but I swear, I be looking at them and I'm like, are y'all sisters? Y'all got to be sisters. Like I mix them up every time. I don't know why. But anyway, how do you feel about this Karate Kid movie? Are you looking forward to it? I personally, I'm here for anything with Jackie Chan. But y'all let me know how you feel about that coming up. What else? We got to talk about this real quick. For a long time, people have debated this question. Okay. And by the way, let me just say that this is one of the reasons why I love recasts, because it only generates great stimulating conversation within the peoples. Okay. So this is why whenever people like, recasting is gonna harm the legacy of the next actor. Blah, blah. No, it won't. No, it won't. Stop it. Recasting don't hurt nobody. It don't hurt nobody. Because if you got a fan favorite of a James Bond or whatever, you gonna like them regardless. Just because they got somebody new, and let's say the new person bombs, it's not going to undo the great work of the previous person. So with this, we tend to have fun talking about our favorite iterations of characters. And one of those conversations has been Spider-Man. Now, we've already been graced with the fantastic blessing of seeing 3 Spider-Man in one movie and Spider-Man No Way Home, right? And it was cool. Everybody got their favorite. My daughter loves Tom Holland. Some people love Andrew Garfield. And I personally have always told y'all the real GOAT was Tobey Maguire. Okay, my man came through in the early 2000s as Spider-Man, and he was just the best, in my opinion. But the question is, how do we settle this debate? How do we settle the debate of who is the greatest Spider-Man out there? I don't really know. Okay, because that's the whole beauty of these conversations, is that there is no real way, because it's all about your personal preference. But I do believe that you can find a way to tip the scales. And the best way to do that is when a Spider-Man tells you himself. Because Andrew Garfield says that Tobey Maguire is his favorite Spider-Man. And that, to me, is all the confirmation I need to know that Tobey is the GOAT. That's it. I feel like we're done here. What else are we talking about? Y'all that love Andrew and stuff, Andrew love him. Andrew loved Toby. Oh well. Oh well. Toby's the GOAT. I feel like I feel like this is case closed. But very, very happy to hear that, because we got to put some respect on Toby's name, man. A lot of people, and this, I know that this is also one of those conversations where like it just depends on when you come in. Like if you wasn't around for the early stuff, you probably not gonna care about it. I get it. But Toby won. Anyway, I think, oh no, we got one last update, and that is going to be, man, this is gonna be a throwback. This is a throwback. This is gonna be more so for my video gamers out there. But do y'all remember the game Shinobi? Shinobi that was on Sega? Well, that is actually getting a movie now. And at first I was gonna say, like, I don't know if I really care about this. I don't even remember. I think I played Shinobi a long time ago when I was a little kid. I don't remember it all that much. I'm sure I played it, but like ask me about the storyline. I don't know. I mean, what do they say? But the cool thing about this is the guy that you see here, that's Sam Hargrave. He's going to be directing it. This is the same guy who, by the way, used to be, I want to say he was a Captain America stunt double, but he also was the guy that did the Extraction movies with Chris Hemsworth. So this guy knows how to do action. Yeah, it says the game followed Joe Musashi, a modern day ninja who confronts great evil. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? What great evil? This sounds like it's just, yo, insert ninja here, go fight. Just go fight. But hey, I don't care. You got a former stunt coordinator, a guy that knows how to do action. And what have I told y'all when it comes to ninjas? Ninjas make everything better. I have yet to find something with ninjas that's terrible. Now, the writing might be terrible. The directing might be terrible. But the fact that you have ninjas in it, it's always a plus. Ninjas to me is like putting Lawry's seasoning on some blandless meat. It's like putting some sugar, I don't know, on something sweet. Like it, ninjas make everything better. Anyway, I'm here for this. I don't know what the story is going to be about. I don't know, and I don't really care. But what I like is the fact that Sam is going to be behind this, and the guy knows how to shoot action very well. So as long as you get some good stunt coordinators, and as long as the actors train Finn, then we gonna be good. All right, well, that's it for the quick updates. What did you guys think about all of those? Are you down for the Shinobi movie? Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. All right, got that. Oh wait, hold on. Oh, my man, Terrence, thank you, brother, for the $10 Cash App. Sending some love right back to you. Appreciate you for that. Oh, that's for Ms. E-Man today. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And I'm sure she appreciates you as well. Thank you so much for that. All right, we have an update. Where is it? Boom. Woo-wee. Where my girl Rhonda at? Rhonda, where you at? Because Rhonda put me on this show too. Not just her, it was other people too. But Primal, I had no idea. Primal is a show made by the same guy that gave you Samurai Jack, right? And it's on HBO Max. And it ended after like 2 seasons. And I have to say, I love Primal. Extremely violent and actually charming with its story. And what's wild about it is there's little to no dialogue. So if you haven't watched it, this ain't something to just put on the TV and play on your phone and do some other thing. No, ain't no dialogue. You're gonna have to pay attention. Okay. And what's fascinating is that it works. The main character can't talk. He just that's it. And his best friend is a dinosaur. She can't talk either. Fang. Fang is the dinosaur. So, and the amount of craziness that they go through. This thing starts off slow, all crazy tension. Okay, we see how they become friends and all that stuff. But the way they go from 0 to 100 in just a couple of episodes is wild. It is wild. I can't even tell y'all some of my favorite. Well, no. One of my favorite scenes is the monkeys. The monkeys. The monkeys was definitely one of my favorite moments. Loved it. But it was over after the second season. I was a little heartbroken, especially with how they ended it. But we got an update. We got an update from the creator about what's going on with this show, and it looks like we're getting an exciting season 3 update. Now, this is from Gendy. He says here about season 3, it's coming. I'm finishing up the 10th episode right now. And so we got 10 more half hours. We're in production and it's going to blow everybody's socks off, I think. We're halfway done with the animation already. He says, I'm just finishing up the last episode and already half of it is already done because it's all overlapped. Half of it's already animated. We're doing post on the first 2 episodes already. So we're over the hard part. We're in the heat of production. This is what I like to hear. This is what I like to hear. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for this to come out. This was so enjoyable, so good. And then you also see that this did say that this could end up becoming an anthology series. Now, I'm not going to go further into that because I feel like it'll be a little bit more spoiler territory, but I'm okay with that too. I'm okay if they want to do it as an anthology series as well. And I think the way they set up the ending at of season 2, it makes sense that could also be the case. So I'm here for it. I am very, very happy to hear that there is a season 3 because I think for a while it was kind of like, I don't know, maybe we'll do one, maybe we won't. But the fact that they're doing it, the fact that it's coming, the fact that we might get this, I want to say hopefully next year, maybe. I'm here for that. So y'all let me know, how did you feel about Primal if you have seen it? Are you interested in watching it? Now, again, it is very violent. So it's not for kids. But I listen, I support it. I support it. Y'all let me know how you feel about this season 3 update in the comments down below. Rhonda, Primal was fire. Yes, ma'am. Yes, it was. Yes, indeedy. All right, let's move on. Okay, we got, how am I doing on time? Okay, we all right. All right, let's do this one. Talk about throwbacks. Henry Cavill. Many of you know him as Superman. Some of y'all know him as Geralt, as in The Witcher. Obviously, Superman's his probably most recognizable role. But you also saw him recently in Deadpool and Wolverine as Calvolrine, I believe they called him. So my man has definitely been busy. He's got a bunch of different projects. I think he's also trying to do Warhammer. Henry Cavill is a nerd. Okay, and I say that in the most respectful way as a fellow nerd. But he is a nerd. He loves Warhammer. And that is a project that he is trying to executive produce and all that. And he also is going to be our new Highlander coming up soon. So I'm actually really excited for that. They said he's like training for that, getting his sword work and stuff. I'm like, bro, you was already a whole sword man with The Witcher. What else you about to? Okay, I mean, listen, I have no problem with an actor training for fight scenes. Isn't that right, Finn? Anyway, but my man Henry is staying busy. So besides Warhammer, besides Highlander, it sounds like and it looks like that ain't all, because he's got something else cooking up and he's going back, way back in the time. And some of y'all might recall this fun little show called Voltron, because apparently this is what Henry Cavill will be doing next. This is coming from Amazon MGM Studios, because a Voltron movie is getting Henry Cavill. It says here that he has come aboard the top line in the live action feature based on the mecha anime. The premise, for those of you that don't know, is centered on 5 young pilots in a battalion named the Robot Lions, which are vehicles that join together to form a mega robot known as Voltron. And no, the plot details, we don't know them. It is still unclear. So we don't know what exactly is going to happen. Now, Voltron, for me, this was before my time. This was a little bit before my time. So I was not on the Voltron bandwagon. I came through more so when Power Rangers, was a thing. I kind of came through on Thundercats and of course Transformers, but Voltron just it wasn't there for me. But to me, this looks like Power Rangers. This is what it looked like to me. So I don't have any real emotional attachment to Voltron. I'm still waiting for a Thundercats movie though. Like I would really like for them to make that happen. But so yeah, I don't have a big attachment to Voltron. I did not watch it regularly. I don't think I even really watched it at all. But if Henry Cavill's doing it, I got a feeling that there is something there. And good for him. Good for him. I'd like to see a trailer. I know that there are people that grew up watching Voltron that are probably excited for this. I'm happy for them. I need a trailer. I need a little bit more. All I know is that this show existed and people liked it that were a little bit older than me. And I don't know what to do with it. So, hey, if y'all like Voltron and if you like Henry Cavill, this sounds like a match made in heaven. I have no idea what character he plays. I don't even know the characters. Is he like the Red Power Ranger cat person? I don't know. Y'all gonna have to help me with this. But y'all let me know. How do you feel about Henry Cavill being a part of Voltron? And the fact that it's coming from Amazon. Listen, Amazon is not afraid to throw some money around. Okay. Amazon was definitely they definitely out there trying to make a name for themselves with a TV shows and their movies. So, if they willing to put that money up, I feel like that's a win some way, somehow. But y'all let me know, how do you feel about Henry Cavill playing in Voltron? Is there a specific character y'all want him to play? If you care about Voltron, let me know. Like, help me understand. Help me understand. Let me know in the comments down below. All right. Oh man, hold on now. Rims, what is up, Rims? Thank you so much for coming through. Hey, fam, finally able to drop in on a live. Miss you, Cherie and the E fam. All the while I'm pushing through the valleys. Can't wait to be back once the dust settles. By the way, I caught your theme song. I see you, player. Love y'all. Oh, yeah, Rims. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, Rims. It's never gonna be the same without you now. Thank you so much. Again, hoping that everything is working itself out for you. And sending you all the positivity and all the goodies out there. Thank you for that. All right. Do. Okay, who else we gonna talk about? We got some movies. We got some movies that are coming. Let's see. Okay, let's do this one. So, Will Smith. Sounds like my man Will Smith is potentially, and in my opinion, I think it's over. I think it's over for Will Smith with all that negativity over the Oscar slap and all that. Listen, I was over the Oscar slap within a couple weeks. The shock was still there, obviously, but when I started seeing all these celebrities, like, oh my god, Will Smith is the most disgusting human on the planet. He makes me hate Hollywood life. Ah, what? This man smacked another man because he was talking about his wife, and y'all, what? I mean, yeah, I'm not defending his actions. Not saying he was right, but y'all, in my opinion, there was a huge overreaction in Hollywood. Huge overreaction. People talking about they would fight Will Smith. No, you wouldn't. No, Sean Penn. Shut up. No, you wouldn't. You ain't gonna step to Will Smith if you saw him on a movie. You wasn't gonna do nothing. Stop. Anyway, he came out with Emancipation. Didn't do too hot. But then again, not a lot of slave movies be like that all the time. It's like wasn't really looking for that, But after Bad Boys, Ride or Die, that was it. Will Smith proved that if you just go back out there, you keep working, keep your head down and just keep on working, and you put something good on screen, all is forgiven. Because people still showed up. I'm people. We all still showed up. We checked it out. The movie was good. Had a good old time. Shout out to Reggie. Shout out to Martin Lawrence. It was a good time. And I think we're done here. I think Will Smith has already been punished. Fine. He's already apologized multiple times. Fine. Whatever little ill will that's between him and Chris Rock. But at the end of the day, my relationship with Will Smith is about what he puts on the big screen in the movie theaters. I don't care about nothing else. Leave me alone with that. My man makes great movies, and I'm here for it. So I'm happy for that. And it seems like this comeback tour ain't over because Will is lining up for something else. And he gonna tag team with one of his top collaborators, Michael Bay. Yes, it says here, while a deal isn't officially closed, Michael Bay is in final negotiations to direct the Netflix action pick Fast and Loose, which will star Will Smith. Woo-wee. Okay, so we got an action movie, which is definitely up, Michael Bay's alley. And it's Will Smith, and it's on Netflix. Okay. It says here that Smith was going to be in that other movie called Sugar Bandits. I completely forgot what that was about. I know we talked about it. But he dropped out of that, and it looks like he dropped out of that to star in this instead. Now, Fast and Loose, it says here, follows a man who wakes up in Tijuana with no memories. As he pieces together his past, he learns that he's been living two lives, one as a crime kingpin and the other as an undercover CIA agent. Okay. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I like the idea. I like the premise. This sound at first, a man that wakes up with no memories. First thing that came to my mind was Memento. Memento is a fantastic movie. If y'all have not seen that, please go see that. But that sounded like the first thing that got my attention. Man wakes up, no memories. But now you a kingpin and you was an undercover CIA agent. Now the question is, which came first? Were you a kingpin first and then you became a CIA agent? Maybe you was a snitch, went undercover, to protect yourself. Or were you an undercover agent and maybe you went too deep? Maybe you went too deep and now you running things like Pablo Escobar. What is it? I'm curious, and you have my attention. It's Will Smith. It's Michael Bay. And I would argue it's Netflix, which means this is probably going to be on streaming. It's probably not going to be in theaters. And you know what? That sounds like a low bar of entry. That sounds like you could stay at home. You know it's a Will Smith movie. Your expectations going to be lower, just a little bit lower, and it's okay. I'm here for this. I like this recipe. I think this works. I like where we're going with this. Like I said, I'm cool with Will Smith doing his movie thing again, and I'm here for it. So y'all let me know, how do you feel about Will Smith's new movie with Michael Bay directing, and it's going to be on Netflix? Whatever you think, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Talented one, bruh. You got to put the proper. You got to put the proper spat on Voltron. Power Rangers was a weak copy. Listen, maybe it was, but Power Rangers is still going. Is Voltron? I'm just saying. You still got Power Ranger TV shows and all this. Power Rangers had a long run. It took a basic formula, and it was. I'll give you this. Power Rangers was corny as hell. It was absolutely corny. Later, it wasn't corny in the beginning. No. Because that Green Ranger drama, and you let me know, because I didn't watch Voltron. You let me know. Did Voltron have that kind of Green Power Ranger energy? That drama left us in a chokehold for weeks. 8, 9-year-old me watching Green Ranger jump in their Power Zord, jump in the Megazord, and kick them out. Green Ranger versus Red Ranger. Evil Tommy. What? I'm just saying, I ain't heard nobody talk about Voltron stories like that. Y'all like the show, and I put respect on it. But I'm saying, Power Rangers took it up another level. Now, of course, later they got weaker, but that was primetime TV back then too. Y'all help me out though. Y'all help me out. Let me know. Let me know. Maybe Voltron had some dope stories. Maybe they did. I don't know. I haven't seen it, and I ain't heard nothing. But I was there. Okay, I was there. How many movies did Voltron have? Live action. Power Rangers had one. Y'all remember this? Uh-oh, we're in trouble. Something's going on, and we're on the double. Yeah. What? Come on, man. That Power Rangers movies, man. What we talking about here? Man, first of all, let me ask this other question. Did Voltron have any black characters? I don't know. Y'all can educate me on this. Did they have any black characters? And did they have any black characters that did hip hop keto like my man Zach? Did anybody kick butt to hip hop like that? Okay. All right. I'm sorry. You had to put a little spice in the chat. I don't know why you put the spice in the chat. Shout out to, Voltron. But I'm just saying, Power Rangers, in my opinion, feels like it had a little bit more cultural impact on the TV landscape. That's all. I don't know. I'm sorry. Just Power Rangers was the stuff, man. That was, man, and the crossover, boy, Rita. Oh my God. Come on, man. Y'all don't know. Did you watch Power Rangers Once and Always on Netflix? No. I watched snippets of it. I didn't watch it in completion. But it's one of those things I've always wanted to go back and watch, but I should have. But and listen, just full honesty here. Power Rangers is meant to be just for a very specific age range. Like I watched this thing when I was in elementary school, You know what I'm saying? And it's like once I don't know, once you hit high school, you're not watching that no more. You know what I'm saying? Like you grow out of it, but everybody that was like 10, 12, what y'all was still watching it, so it's fine. It did its job, and that's fine. Let's see. Okay. How we doing on time? Okay, we doing good on time. Good on time. All right, what else? We got another movie coming up. Christopher Nolan. So, in my opinion, Christopher Nolan is probably one of the best working directors of our time. Um, his resume is impeccable. Um, Personally, I enjoy his more of his early work than I do his latter work. And the thing is, Christopher Nolan is so good as a director that even his worst movies are still good compared to other people's movies. So, in my opinion, one of his worst movies is probably Dunkirk. Dunkirk is probably one of his worst movies. But again, just because it's his worst doesn't mean it's a bad movie, right? Tenet might come after that. As much as I wanted to love Tenet, I love time travel. I love science fiction. Shout out to John David Washington. I was like, yo, I'm here for this. But I couldn't understand what y'all was saying. The sound quality was terrible, and the story was way too convoluted. Bro, I should not need my physics college professor to sit next to me to make sense of your movies. You're doing too much if that is the case. But we talking about Memento, we talking about Interstellar, we talking about what was the dream movie? The dream movie. Inception. We talking about Inception. Prestige, and yes, The Dark Knight. Like this, my man has got it. Okay, he got a track record. He knows what he's doing, and even more recently, Oppenheimer. Now, Oppenheimer wasn't my favorite movie of all time on his list, but Oppenheimer was pretty good, especially because of the fact that who the hell would have thought a movie about a scientist who made the A bomb was going to make almost $1 billion. Now, shout out to Barbie. That marketing actually helped, but it's still on his resume. My man won Best Director. He won all these awards. He's still gonna get his props. So, for me, again, he is on my list as like one of my favorite directors of all time. So when the news comes out that Christopher Nolan wants to do something, you have my attention. I don't know what it is. I don't care what it is. But you have my attention because that is going to be something that is going to hopefully stand out compared to the rest. So we do have some news here about what he is going to be doing for his next venture. It says here that Nolan is going to return to Universal for his next film with plans for an IMAX release. He loves his IMAX on July 17th, 2026. And now you got Matt Damon, who is in the mix to star as well. Now, I like this. Matt Damon, I like him. I don't know if I'd say Matt Damon is like, he's still a star. He's still a star, but he's not like after Born Identity. I can't sit here and say like, oh man, Matt Damon, automatic, run to the theaters. I can't say that no more. I can't. I like him. I think he's a good actor, but putting him together with Christopher Nolan, I'm here for this. I'm okay with this. It says here, as with any Nolan project, plot details are being kept secret, as secret as anything in this town, though sources say the film is expected to shoot in early 2025. So we don't know what this is about. We don't know anything about it. And to be honest, I don't care. That's fine. Because I remember the same thing was going on with Tenet. When Tenet was first announced, didn't nobody really know what it was. We just knew that John David Washington was the lead, and that was it. That's all we really knew. Matter of fact, if we go back even further, when Inception came out, didn't nobody understand what this movie was about? We didn't know. It was kind of like, what? Like, what you got? What's Leo doing? Why are they running upside down? What is this? And then we walked in the theater and our minds were blown. So at this point, I trust them to give us something unique. However, this is my only concern. My main concern is who's going to write this. Because some of Nolan's best work has been when his brother was the writer and working with him. Because I believe his brother has a better grasp of telling stories for the average moviegoer. So if you go back and look at his film, filmography, a lot of Christopher Nolan's best movies are the ones where his brother has worked with him on. He didn't have no help. Nolan did not have his brother doing Tenet. So, and what ends up happening is Nolan will get so deep in the trenches with like the science and all this. It's like it begins too complicated. And if your movie is too complicated that the average person with a high school diploma can't follow it, that's not a good sign. That's not a good thing. Movies still have to be accessible to everybody, right? I'm not saying you can't have complex ideas, but if you don't know how to translate those complex ideas to the average person, that's going to go over people's heads and they're not going to be attracted to the movie. They're not going to talk about it. You're not going to make $1 billion. Yeah. So that's my only concern with this. But once again, it's Christopher Nolan. You got Matt Damon. I'm sold. Whatever it is, I'm sold. I'm intrigued. Your track record speaks for itself. Let's see what happens. So y'all let me know. How do you feel about the new announcement of Christopher Nolan getting a movie now with Universal? Oh, by the way, I don't know if y'all remember, but Nolan didn't always work with Universal. He used to work with WB a lot. But if y'all remember the drama was it was during the pandemic and it was with Tenet. And this was the time when we was all locked up. We couldn't go outside. And WB, who was under a different, administration at the time, they had the bright idea to release movies at the same day in theaters and on streaming. And this was terrible. And Christopher Nolan cussed them clean out. He was like, this is ridiculous. I sat here and did all this work, you know what I'm saying, to like make sure that this thing was shot in IMAX. What are y'all doing? Y'all are messing up the vision. And he said, goodbye, WB. Now, fast forward after a new regime came in and new people, came in. Some of the WB execs said, like, hey, big head, hey, man, how you doing? Yeah, listen, that wasn't even us. That wasn't us. That was the other old regime. You know what? Hey, look, hey, man, why don't you take this 7-figure check of royalties for Tenet? It's on us. You deserve it. Take these millions. You want to come do a movie for us? Nolan said, no. I'm good over here at Universal, where I just won them an Oscar and I made them almost $1 billion with Oppenheimer. Y'all missed out. Y'all missed out. And it said here, Christopher Nolan never considered Warner Brothers for his next film, and they were not even allowed to read the script. Damn! WB tried enticing him back, giving him that 7-figure royalty check for Tenet. This man said, nah. WB called. New number, who this? Like, left them on read. No, he didn't even leave them on read. He said, you can't even blocked. Nolan said, WB blocked. Y'all can't even look at my script. I don't like y'all. This is ruthless. Because here's the thing. I totally do not blame Christopher Nolan for having those ill wills for the previous regime. Because we've talked about this. The WB has been a mess. They've been a mess. And from boss to new CEO to new CEO, they've been historically a mess within the last 15 years. Going all the way back to Zack Snyder and all that nonsense. This man said, I don't care who running y'all right now. Block. And because he's got that kind of swagger, because he can walk the walk and talk the talk. Like, to me, there's only a couple of directors in Hollywood that can do this. You know, Steven Spielberg. You're not going to tell this man no. If this man show up at your door, you're going to give him what he wants. The GOAT, James Cameron. James Cameron builds studios. He pays for... Nobody's telling James Cameron nothing. Nothing. And then it's Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan want to do something? What you gonna say? This man said, I want a big old plane and I want to explode it in Tenet just cuz. Cut the check. Go get y'all a Boeing 55, 75, whatever. Go get that plane and blow this thing up. That's what the man wants. So, hey, if he gonna block you, sorry. And now Universal's the new boo. Universal's like, come on, Chris. We don't need to entertain this. Let's go make another movie. Boy, Universal is happy. They are they are going to give him everything he wants. Like, seriously, it's a blank check moving forward. Nothing, nobody, somebody else can say, yo, we gonna offer him to be like, no, we already matched it. Get out our face. We go together now. He ain't going nowhere. They're not gonna let him go. I'm telling you right now. Anyway, y'all let me know. How do you feel about this Christopher Nolan update? Are you excited for his new movie? Is this something that you're looking forward to? Whatever you think, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Hold on, I got some things here. Hold on now. Low key with the double. Hold on. $20 for thanks for the tonight, Eman. Oh my goodness. Low key, thank you once again. Keeping the lights on. I appreciate you so much. Shout out to you. Hopefully you and the hubby are doing great as well. Thank you for that, low key. I appreciate you. All right, what do we have? This was quick. So we talked about this before. We have all these old directors and you know, all these people that are out there trying to attack Marvel and, you know, trying to just blame everything. Who was the latest guy? Francis Ford Coppola with Megaflopolis. Okay, gonna drop Megaflopolis. And what did he do? Before the movie came out, he started blaming Marvel and Star Wars. How you gonna, you know, your movie trash if you gotta pre-blame a studio that ain't got nothing to do with you because your movie's about to suck. You know your movie is trash. But we did have my man Sebastian Stan came out recently and he was going ahead and defending Marvel. You know, he was like, hey man, y'all need to quit crapping on these studios. You know, stop blaming Marvel because a lot of these big studios, they fund smaller things. And you know what? My man Bucky ain't playing because he's still out there defending Marvel. And I'm here for this. Said Sebastian Stan defends Marvel, saying that if Marvel was gone, it'd be such a big hole to try and fill up. Now, before we continue, he's right. I've told y'all this before. What Marvel Studios is doing is historic. It is historic. We have never, in the lifetime of movie cinema, had anything be accomplished the way that Marvel Studios is accomplishing it. We're living in history. Okay, now again, this does not make Marvel perfect. It does not mean that they have, zero flaws. What I'm saying is the fact that because we're in the midst of greatness right now, sometimes it's easy for people to get comfortable and not to realize that they're in the middle of something great. Perfect example or similar example. I'm a Chicagoan, right? Growing up in Chicago, growing up in the Chicagoland area, I was a Chicago Bulls fan. Okay, back in the day, like when Jordan was rocking out and we was winning ships. We were winning championships so easily, it was almost like a given. With three-peat after three-peat, we was like, man, it's just another year. Oh, it's gonna be another ship. It's another ship. It was easy for us. It was nothing. We took this for granted. We loved the Bulls. We loved Jordan. We was here for them. We supported them. But I'm saying, when you in the midst of it, you don't realize that you in the middle of something amazing. You see something great, but you don't be like, sometimes you miss it. And all I'm saying is, it's the same thing with the MCU. Look at the competition right now. Who gonna catch up with the MCU? WB already started the race, fell down on their face, and now they trying to start back at the finish line. They starting to go back to the start line to start all over again. What is Sony doing? Sony not even on the racetrack. Sony don't even know that there's a race going on. Nobody even knows what Sony. They still in bed. Sony is still in bed trying to do a Venom Part 5 or whatever. Who gonna catch up with Marvel right now? Star Wars could. Star Wars is the only one that got an actual cinematic universe. The last time we seen a movie was 8 years ago. No, 6 years ago. What is Star Wars doing? So my man Sebastian Stan is absolutely right. Who is going to fill in this gap if Marvel goes away? Because I don't know about y'all. I'm a film critic. I have to go watch things and review them, and that's part of my gig. This is what I do. This year has been lacking. There have been movies that will come to my email and they'll be like, hey, you want to go to this screener? And I'm like, no. Hey, you want to go see this new movie? Hell no. There ain't been a lot of things that have moved me compared to previous years where we would have something in the theaters constantly. And I'm not even talking about Marvel stuff. I'm just saying, in general, we used to have a whole bunch of the next thing I'm probably going to watch is Smile 2. I do want to see Smile 2, okay? But what I'm saying is like, this year has been lackluster. The two biggest movies, what did we have? Dune and Deadpool. Like, what else are we doing? So, yes, he's absolutely right. Who gonna fill up that big hole? Because right now, I don't know who it is. So if I was in the industry, I would absolutely be sitting here saying, shout out to Marvel, let them keep doing their thing, because they keep people butts in the seats. If Marvel was gone, what y'all finna go watch in the theater? What's in the theater right now? Hold on. We got time. What's in the theater right now? Let's look. What y'all got? Joker? Y'all finna go see Joker? Terrifier 3? Wild Robot, I did hear the Wild Robot was good. I did hear that was good. Saturday Night, what? Piece by Piece? Oh, that's the Pharrell movie. I'm not, what? What else in theaters right now? Yeah, what? Y'all finna go out for this? Is this what y'all going out for? Y'all paying money for this? Beetlejuice? Again? I heard Transformers 1 was good. Speak No Evil, I do kind of want to see it, but I don't know if I want to pay for it. We Live in Time, the Superman documentary. I'm never going to a theater for a documentary. I'm sorry, not for a documentary. When it comes on HBO Max, I'll check it out, but I'm not going to no theater to pay money for a documentary. No, thank you. The Apprentice, the Donald Trump movie? Hell no, I ain't finna go pay to go see that. Are you kidding me? Average Joe? What is that? White Bird? What? I can't even say this name. What is this? Vetetanianan? Can somebody say this? Can somebody? I can't say Vetetanian. The Substance, Blink, Monster Summer, My Old But. I'm not going to watch this. Y'all going to see it? Are y'all going to go see this? Okay. Oh, they're going to make a Flopolis. Never Let Go. Yikes. Never go watch. But this goes back to the next thing that Sebastian says, which is don't just go out there and crap on something without offering something better. It's that simple. It's that simple. If you gonna try and criticize the king, you best not miss. And almost everybody that has criticized Marvel has been missing. Almost every single one. If y'all hate Marvel so bad, if y'all want the industry to thrive so bad, make better stuff. It's always been that simple. This is not complicated. But a lot of these directors like to get into their own head, and they like to sit here and be super artistic and all this stuff. And this is something that I've had a grievance, or I shouldn't say a grievance. I've had debates about this with other film heads. When it comes to movies, unless you're doing a self-funded indie movie that you don't care who watches, it's a two-way street. You have to put out something artistic. Sure, movies are art. But at the same time, it's a business, which means you can put out your art, but it needs to be something people will buy. Because if you put out all this art and no one wants to buy it, no one cares. No one cares. And your thing is going to die. But if you put out some art and it's something that is in line with what people enjoy watching, now you got something beautiful. Now you got something great. But a lot of these directors lately have been just making their own stuff that they just like with little to no care of what the audience wants. Ooh, I'm going to talk about this example in just a minute. We're going to talk about this a little later. But if you forget the business aspect of making a movie, you're not going to make money. And if you don't make money, you cannot have the funds to put out your artistic expression. I mean, you can go to Tubi. You can always put it on YouTube. But if you're going to try to appeal to a global audience, you're going to have to get out your own head. You're going to have to do stuff that's going to get the people going. You better give me something that's going to get me out my house and make me pay 20-something plus dollars and spend 2-3 hours to watch your stuff. Because if it's a whole bunch of crap that only you like in your head, I'm not with that. Anyway, Sebastian Stan is absolutely correct. And I'm so glad that he put it in very simple terms. Stop talking about Marvel. Stop complaining. Go make better stuff. If it's good, people will come. That's all. That's always been the secret recipe. Make it interesting, make it compelling. You want to make a horror, make it scary. You want to make a comedy, make it funny. You want to make a drama, make it compelling. You do these things, people will show up. All right. Anyway, what do y'all think about Sebastian? My man Bucky coming through, being the shield of Marvel. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments down below. Poor man, what you got? See, these young bucks just disrespectful. Man, listen, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. I'm assuming you're talking about Voltron. Let's see. Okay, Dwight, I was gonna say, like, what are you talking about? I be the number one icon word to the Holy Quran. I rock on and on, hey, on and on, and you won't understand where I'm from. Voltron, ha 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 ha. Everything remains raw, bust the rhymes. Thank you for that, Dwight. I was gonna say, like, what is this man talking about? Thank you for that. I appreciate you. Loki, thank you so much. Yes, please go ahead and hit that like button. I really do appreciate it if y'all do that for me. All right, yeah, making sure that my daughter is okay. Okay, yep, she's still having fun at her little party. Okay, thank you so much for that, Loki. Appreciate you always. Ew, what you got? My theory of this father and son Nolan films is that it's based around an idea that deals with building something based around time, and his son gets lost in time. Oh, is that the premise for the movie? Because I didn't read anything about the premise. Um, but if it is that father son dynamic and somebody's lost, sure, sure, fine by me. I like I like what Nolan can do with time. Um, the real question is, can he execute it effectively? I think that not lanterns. I think that Tenet was not executed well when it comes to time, but Memento was. So yeah, that all depends. But anyway, thank you so much for that. All right, let's get into the rumor mill because I know y'all like rumors and stuff. So, as with any time we talk about rumors, please take each and every one of these things with a huge grain of salt. I'm only going to talk about it just to entertain it, but some of these things I kind of sort of believe, some I don't, but whatever. We just going to have a little fun with it. What's the first one we got? Venom. So, as we know, Venom The Last Dance is going to, thank God, be the last Venom movie from Sony. Now there is a lot of talk and a lot of rumors of what's going to happen. There's a lot of talk about how it ends, and so I'm not going to talk about spoilery potential rumors like that. Personally, this is kind of where I draw the line with rumors. I hate it when a rumor will spoil a movie too much. It's like, what's the point? Like, stop, just chill out with that. But there are some like this one I'll entertain because I think this is kind of interesting. But we know that Null is going to be the villain in this movie, and according to this rumor, Null and Venom will not interact in this movie. The character is seen in space, sitting on his throne for the majority of the film. This is, and I wish I could run the tape back. I wish I could run the tape back. But this is exactly what I suspected when we did the Venom trailer reaction. Didn't I tell y'all? Sony has a history They have a history. Go back and look at almost every Spider-Man, whatever you want. Look at the trailers. They always tease the end credit scene or something at the very end. Whoever does the Sony Marvel trailers is terrible. Now, they're good because they show you so much stuff that it almost makes the movie interesting. If Sony did not have the terrible track record that they have, you might be convinced by the trailer that it's worth watching. I think it was The Amazing Spider-Man, and they actually showed a clip from the post-credit scene of when somebody was walking and you could see the Sinister Six in the background and stuff like that. I was just like, why are y'all spoiling this stuff? And then it gets to the point where maybe they don't spoil it. Maybe they just lie. Maybe they just gonna lie to you. Maybe they just gonna show you, hey, look at the Vulture. Oh, look at a poster of Spider-Man on the wall, Morbius. And then they just lie. So you mean to tell me that trailer that all of y'all saw with Null, and Null is a big problem in the comics. This man is a big problem. Thanos level threat, if not maybe even bigger. You just gonna have him sitting on the throne all the time? The whole time? Why did you even show him? Y'all remember when what was that? Was that Guardians of the Galaxy? I think it was Guardians. And we only saw Thanos just sitting down. That was Thanos. That was Thanos. That's all we gonna get with No? Boy, Sony every time I just wonder, how can y'all just gonna dig this grave deeper? Just how? How are you gonna dig it deeper? And then they find a way. I don't know how, but they find a way. So Null is a tease that matters not. Next one. What do we have? Marvel Studios decided to drop the Kang storyline because there was not a lot of hype surrounding the character. So they went with Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom to get the people more excited for the upcoming Avengers film. If this is true, this is trash. And shame on Marvel if that is the case. To me, this proves that Marvel has two issues. One, they don't listen to fans. And two, they got scared. You don't listen to fans because the most rewarding and redeeming thing of Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania was Jonathan Majors' Kang. He was the best part. I think almost everyone could agree that the worst part about the movie was how the writing depicted Kang. You set up Kang to be this big bad guy. He was literally the worst one. This was the conqueror. This was the one that like even the other Kangs were afraid of. This was the Kang that whooped so many Avengers, he don't even remember their names no more. They all blended together. That's how bad of a mofo this guy was. And y'all let him get defeated by some super ants and Ant-Man? Marvel killed Kang. All the hype that was building up for Kang, that was very well, it was on a good momentum. Marvel killed it with that bad writing. Why would you punish the character for that? You gonna punish the character because y'all hired Jeff Loveness or whatever, and he wrote a terrible script, and y'all thought, remember that other report from Variety, y'all thought that y'all was gonna kill him with Quantum Mania. Y'all thought that was gonna be a smash. Y'all thought that was going to be a hit. Whoever or whatever focus groups y'all did lied to you. They lied to you. Because I tell you, if I was in them groups, if I was there, I would have been like, yo, this is whack. This is dumb. You don't take a Thanos level threat, somebody who literally is more devious, if you think about it, Thanos killed billions of people. Kang killed trillions. Kang was that big of a problem. I would have told y'all from the jump, this is dumb. This MODOK crap that y'all was doing, get this out of here. What are y'all thinking? Y'all thought that was funny? I have holes. What? Cut that out. Y'all had too much fun with this. Just like y'all had too much fun with Thor Love and Thunder. Which, by the way, y'all messed that up too. How come y'all not replacing Thor? Why aren't y'all getting rid of Thor? Thor has had 3 out of 4 bad movies, in my opinion. Because I did not like Thor 1. I did not like Thor 2. And Thor 4 was terrible. Bad writing messed up all them movies. But y'all still sticking with Thor. And the reason why you stick with Thor, and I'm not mad at that, is because you should know that good writing can elevate any character. Good writing can always sit here and generate more hype. So Marvel copped out. Marvel buckled. Marvel lost faith in themselves by benching Kang. And that's not okay. Because again, you all should pride yourselves as storytellers. You guys are better than that. You don't take a character who has so much potential. This is why y'all literally picked Kang to follow up Thanos. You know there's character potential there. And then you got scared. You went with the Hollywood knee-jerk gimmick. You went with the Robert Downey thing. You went with the Dr. Doom thing. And let me be very clear, because I've seen some people be like, man, Kang was kind of whack. Man, Robert Downey's cool. Man, Dr. Doom is cool. I understand all of that. What I'm saying is the transition is terrible. That's what I'm saying. The transition is premature and it's reactionary and it's terrible. I'm not saying the end product is a problem, because yes, Robert Downey is a fantastic actor. Yes, we all were waiting for Dr. Doom. We all knew Dr. Doom was going to cook. We knew that. We knew that already. But what I'm saying is, y'all played Kang short. And unfortunately, some people that don't know how dope Kang is, some people that have no idea what Kang is really capable of, they're comfortable in their own ignorance. And I don't mean that as a slight. I'm not trying to name call. I'm saying you literally don't know. And therefore, you're just like, well, but I like Doom. It's okay, right? I'm fine with this. Yeah, you're fine because you don't realize all the potential that is not there. What you don't see don't hurt you. What you don't know don't hurt you. So you cool with this little sidestep. Again, Avengers is going to make $1 billion. Maybe 2. Easily 2. I'm going to be there too. But that doesn't disqualify the fact that they did Kang bogus and this was a dumb move. So anyway, trashy move on Marvel. They should have brought Jonathan Majors back, I think, especially after, given the fact that he's making a comeback. I think it'd be fine, because it's not like we would see him today. We'd see him in like a year, maybe a year and a half, so you could still do something with Kang, but whatever. Let the TVA take care of it. It's dumb. Next up, we got Doctor Strange 3 will be directed by Sam Raimi, and Denzel Washington has officially been cast as Dormammu. Now, let me just say real quick, this does not mean that it is actually official, because Marvel ain't say nothing, Denzel ain't say nothing. This is just a rumor. But Sam Raimi coming back for Doctor Strange, it makes sense. I'm okay with this. This man made like a movie that made almost 800 something $1 million during the pandemic era. Doctor Strange was still a hit. Now, y'all not going to have to bring back Michael Waldron. Don't bring him back. He's the guy that gave y'all the Illuminati and took him right back. Don't bring him back. But if you want to bring back Sam Raimi, I'm okay with that. Let him do his thing with Doctor Strange. Because what I would like to see is Sam kind of use more of his horror elements in Doctor Strange, because I think that's a very good working component for that character. But you cannot bring back Michael Waldron. You cannot. You're gonna have to move on. Don't let him touch this again. Don't get him away. But Raimi coming back is fine. Now, as for Denzel, I don't know how to feel about this. Because in my opinion, if you're going to bring Denzel, I've told y'all, if Denzel's going to do anything in Marvel, it's going to have to be a one and done type of thing. I don't think it's something that he's going to have to do because he's got other stuff that he wants to do, right? He's producing, he's acting in other stuff. So I don't see Denzel actually committing to this kind of stuff long term. And, in fairness, I mean, he's getting up in age too, right? Now, don't get me wrong, as Dormammu, it makes sense because he would probably just be a voice, right? I don't think he's gonna come in and put on the mocap and all. I don't think he will. So it makes sense if he's just coming in as a voice. But then I'm also wondering, you gonna give Dormammu a Denzel accent? We just saw what Denzel did in Gladiator 2. We just saw that this man don't even want to have an accent. So he's not even trying. I'm just wondering, is this man gonna sit here as Dormammu and put cases on everybody and send them to Pelican Bay? Like, what are we doing? Is Dormammu about to guarantee something? Is Dormammu gonna leave here with something? Like, what is Dormammu gonna see Doctor Strange again and be like, my man? Like, what is Dormammu gonna do with Denzel as a voice? Now, I said Denzel should come back as an old version of Kang, one and done, put him in an Avengers movie, let him fight the Doctor Doom, Robert Downey, let Downey kill him or something, and that's it. I feel like that'll win. I feel like that would win. But Dormammu as Denzel as Dormammu, I feel like we're gonna have a lot of material with this. I think we will. Anyway, we got Sam Raimi here on this this was from Snyder, I believe, said that he won't be working on Doctor Strange 3 until the winter of 2026, maybe 2025, or maybe 2026. Marvel Studios currently has an untitled film set for November of 2026, so maybe that's it. So okay, Sam, again, I'm here for Sam. I'm here for Sam to do this. That works for me. Now we got to get to the most prevailing rumor that was put out there that kind of rubbed people the wrong way, and it had to do with Fantastic Four and Doom. Says here that Doom and Reed Richards' relationship will not be as important or impactful as it was in the comics. Think of it as Tony Stark and Thanos. They knew there was a threat coming, but didn't know exactly who it was. Basically, Thanos is Doom and Tony is Reed. This right here sounds like trash. Sounds like trash. To me, one of the best components of Doctor Doom and Reed Richards is their rivalry. To downplay that, in my opinion, robs the essence of what makes Doom tick. Doom literally has been motivated because of his relationship with Reed Richards. Former friends, kind of frenemies, then enemies. And it was always about, like, man, who can outdo the other one? Who's smarter than the other one? This is like, for my anime friends, this is like doing a Dragon Ball series or a movie, and Vegeta and Goku, they ain't got no real rivalry. Vegeta don't want no smoke. If Vegeta doesn't have a Goku, how does Vegeta even work? How does he grow? How does he become Super Saiyan 2, 3, 4, 5? How does he do anything if you're going to downplay the thing that literally drives him? Now, I get it. This Doctor Doom that Downey is playing probably is not going to be the main Doom. God, I hope he's not going to be the main Doom. So maybe he's coming from a universe where there is no Reed Richards. Maybe he's coming from a universe where he killed his Reed Richards. I don't know, But the point is, that element is not something I believe should be downplayed at all. That is not something that you just casually glance over and just be like, oh, they don't like each other, but let's move on. No. Doom is Doom because of Reed Richards. Like, that's a big part. Anyway, this does not give me that much confidence in this element of the movie. Now, let's not forget, we still got the Russo brothers. We still got a great actor in Downey. One of the writers is coming back from Infinity War, Winter Soldier, Civil War. One of them is coming back. But I don't like this. So I guess we'll have to wait and see how they do this. But anyway, you guys let me know. How do you feel about all of these rumors with Denzel, with Doctor Doom and Doctor Strange and all of that? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Marvel movies have generated over 20 billion. That's crazy. That I thought it was a little bit more than that. Thought it was like 30, but yeah, could be right. But that's nuts. Who's doing them kind of numbers? Who's doing them? Thank you for that, JN. And I see your other one here. Yes, allegedly. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate you. 60 plus. What you got here? I thought Coleman Domingo was slated to play Kang in that movie. That was, I think fans were pushing it. And yeah, it was a rumor, but if it happens, it'll probably be like a one and done, maybe. But nothing official, nothing with traction, I should say. But I would still welcome it. I would still love for Coleman Domingo to play Kang, even if it was just for part of the movie. I'd be happy for him to do that. JN, the lie is that these artsy directors are putting out art. The Shape of Water won an Oscar. Really? Marvel's at least creating an experience. Yeah. And the Oscars are one. That's a whole different conversation. I mean, you have to think about who are the people that are voting for it. What are the things that they've actually seen? Because if you think about it, there are a lot of people in the industry that are like, I don't watch Marvel movies. I don't watch sci-fi stuff. I don't watch that. So if they don't watch it, what are they going to vote on? Shape of Water. So, it's this is not like the MTV awards where it's like up to the people or anything like that. It's a little bit more. It's a little bit more specific. We're making great time. All right, we have 3 more topics. We got to talk about calling out Disney, the lanterns, and we're going to talk about this. Let's talk about y'all movie. Captain America, Brave New World. Probably one of the most highly anticipated movies of this entire platform, I'm sure. We have talked about this for a while. I've talked about how just last week there was that rumor about how supposedly this movie could be setting up another Hulk movie. Maybe. We've also talked about how this movie it's had some issues. One of the issues was that the first test screening did not go very well. The first test screening came back and was like, yo, the politics, the action, it ain't hitting. So, in good faith, Marvel's like, all right, bet. If the first movie ain't doing very well, if the first cut, is not doing very well, let's go back to the drawing board. They went back. They hired a whole writer. I don't think that this is commonplace. They hired a whole different writer to write the reshoots. And they redid supposedly 3 big action scenes. Now, I've told y'all before, if the politics and the action does not work in a Captain America movie, you don't have a movie. Because that's all Captain America is. Action, politics. That's it. So they went back to the drawing board. They did their reshoots. And, the movie's coming out in February. It's coming out in February. But we have a potential update here about the new screening. Because, if you have a test screening and you go back and do reshoots, you're going to have to test it again, see if it works. Let's see what the people said. It says here that 2 different cuts of the film test screen last week, and the plot details for one of the cuts have leaked online. Now, I will not be going over those plot details. It says those people who attended were either given a red or a green bracelet and were split up into 2 different theaters. The reactions I've heard have not been very kind to this movie, which is being described as inessential and flat. I've never heard a movie be called inessential before. And flat? How are you flat if your whole purpose was to hire a new writer to rewrite the scenes that were already considered bad, and y'all reshot this to make it better? Y'all ever have a TV dinner and if you don't follow the instructions of a TV dinner, you could put it in a microwave and it'll be hot everywhere except the middle. And then you take it out and you be trying to eat it, and then you be like, ugh, man, these mashed potatoes are still ice. What's going on? And you put it back in. Imagine if you put it back in and you took it out and it was still cold. I feel like Captain America Brave New World ain't nothing but a cold TV dinner. That's the way it sounds. It's just not. If these rumors are to believed, if we are to believe them, it sounds like y'all need to go out for some Chinese food. Y'all need to go out for something else. This might not be it. This might not be it. Do you want to know the last time we heard news like this? Do y'all remember? Can anybody remember the last big movie that had bad early test screenings? They went back to the drawing board, fixed it up, put it back out, and it still had bad test screenings. Do y'all remember the movie? I want to see if anybody remembers the movie. It's not the Marvels. It's not the Marvels. It's not a Marvel movie. I'll give you that clue. It's not a Marvel movie. It has so many red flags. Got it. Aquaman 2. Do y'all remember that debacle? Do y'all remember all the red flags that I kept on telling y'all about? We kept hearing all this noise about what Jason Momoa was going to write. We heard about the first test screening that was bad. Then we heard another test screening that was bad. And the movie just could not get right. The Flash was also another one. But my goodness, what is happening? I mean, I don't know. Listen, inessential? That means, listen, one thing a Marvel movie cannot be is inessential. That means that you could do without watching this movie. I feel like if you have a movie in the MCU that does not have any real importance, why is it here? What's the point? This scares me. This scares me because for as much fun as we like to have, I was rooting for my man. I don't want nothing bad to happen to Anthony Mackie's career at all. I like the brother to work. I want him to do his thing. I want him to cut the check. But this worries me. This does worry me. But y'all let me know. How do you feel about this report? You know, maybe it's wrong. You know, we don't know who this person talked to. Maybe whoever talked to these whoever he talked to were the only two people that hated it. Maybe. But y'all let me know what you think about this inessential flat cap movie. I don't know. This ain't a good sign. I don't like it. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. All right. Let's talk about that. Okay. Oh, I gotta change this. Oh no, we do have some more stuff. Let's talk about Joker 2. To put it kindly, it ain't doing too hot. It's not doing too hot in theaters right now. Yeah, that's it's losing a lot of money. Usually when these movies come out, they'll take a slight dip, 20%, 30%, something like that. This movie done drop by 80% in the next week. That's not good. This movie has been financially compared as a flop to Morbius. This is a movie that is a sequel to a $1 billion Oscar award-winning film. I gave you guys my review for this last week. I told you it was not good. And when I say it was not good, it was really in relation to obviously my own opinion about it, but I felt like the movie definitely was not something that would communicate with everybody, not in an effective way. And I like the first movie. I know some people were mixed on the first, but I like the first movie. But this one, I understood what the director was going for. I understood the themes. I get it. but it wasn't entertaining. It makes for a better think piece. It makes for a better conversation, but it absolutely was not shot in a very effective way. So, what we're learning here is that apparently there was more drama. There was more drama behind the scenes when it came to this movie than I think a lot of people thought about, or even knew about. And a lot of it had to do with the director, Todd Phillips. This man had, I don't know what was going on with him. But let's kind of go through what went down with Joker 2. Behind the scenes. It says Todd Phillips wanted nothing to do with DC during the making of this film. I'm not a professional at this type of stuff, but I feel like if you're the director, you should probably have a good relationship with the studio that hired you, that you're working under. I mean, it's just, call me crazy, but kind of feel like you would need that kind of working relationship. But because of the fact that he wanted nothing to do with DC while he was making Joker 2, that allowed him to bypass any oversight from the brand's gatekeepers. Now, although James Gunn publicly supported the movie and all of that on social media, Phillips has distanced himself from DC. As the animated title card, if you saw the opening of Joker 2, it is animated. As the animated title card sequence unspooled inside the iconic Hollywood cinema in the opening minutes, it became apparent that Phillips had just given DC the middle finger. So there was no DC Studios logo. Yikes. Yikes. But I don't think that the studio was the only thing that he gave a middle finger to. I think he gave a middle finger to all the fans too. I think all of it. I think he was just like, screw all of y'all. Whew. I don't know what Gunn did to him, but he just did not want to mess with them, apparently. One person says here, if the first movie was about some down on his luck, mentally ill guy in a downtrodden city, it makes maybe $150 million worldwide, not $1 billion. This is a source familiar with the internal awkwardness. People showed up because that guy was Joker. Yeah. You don't call a movie Joker and think that people going to show up and want to see somebody else who's not really Joker, but kind of labeled as Joker, but he's the inspiration of Joker, but maybe he's Joker. What? If you called it, what? No. Stop playing these games. And this is what happened. Todd Phillips played stupid games and he won a stupid prize. He tried to be he wanted to subvert all these expectations and make a movie about Arthur Fleck. And guess what? You called the movie Joker. You called the next one Joker 2. And then you want to turn around and be like, he was never really Joker. Stop playing. Stop playing stupid games. Stop it. What you should have done is just call the movie Arthur. That if you had just called the movie Arthur, now it wouldn't have made $1 billion. It wouldn't. But if you had just called the movie Fleck, if you called it Arthur, then at least maybe you have a little bit more leeway. Now, here's the thing. This is what I mean by I understood what he was going for. I understood it. Okay. He wanted to make a movie about a guy who was going through some bad times, going through some trauma and all that. And then eventually society puts the moniker of Joker on him. Totally understand that. I get it. But when I talk about the relationship between the director or the filmmaker and the audience, that is a relationship that should be respected. And what I mean by that in terms of the relationship is don't bamboozle people into something. Don't try to be cute with all this subversion of expectations. Because here's the thing, it's high risk, high reward. The first movie, I believe, was a high risk to show a movie about a guy who looks like Joker, sounds like Joker, is called Joker, and have no Batman. That was very risky, but they got a high reward, right? Because by the time you get done with the movie, it looks like he's Joker. He's embracing it. It's all good. So people was like, all right. Money well deserved. But you came around and you effed around in this second movie. And guess what? You found out. You found out that when you try to play too cute with some of these things, people not going to talk about your movie. They're going to trash it. And you're not going to make any money. Well, let me take that back. The studio won't make any money. But yeah, people showed up because you call this movie Joker. That makes sense. What else happens here? Let's see. Many expected Gunn and Safran to provide like feedback and notes on Joker 2, but Todd Phillips balked and would only work with DeLuca and Abdi. Those are the other two execs at WB. So he really did not want anything to do with James Gunn and Peter Safran. He was like, I don't like them. I don't want them. No, I don't need no notes from them at all. And who knows? Maybe, just maybe, they probably could have sat here and told him, like, hey, man, maybe you want to cut this out, or maybe you want to cut that out. Like, they might have made the movie a little better. But he said, nah, I'm good. I ain't talking to y'all. F around and find out. Insiders say Studio Brass did not want to debut the film at the Venice Film Festival, so as it's done 5 years ago. But Phillips pushed back. He said, nah, put this in the festival. I want this in the festival. And Warner Brothers, they was like, all right, man, hey, listen, your last movie made $1 billion. You did the thing. We gonna listen. Phillips also refused to test screen Joker 2. So, no screening. It premiered in Venice, marked the first time an audience saw it. The critics rejected it, and the film tallied a disastrous 33% score on Rotten Tomatoes, well before earning a dismal D cinema score. And to put that grade into context, Madam Web had a C+. When you score lower than Madam Web, yikes! Yikes! Madam Web was sitting here like, oh, I am the worst movie of the year. Then Joker 2 came around, and Madam Web was like, what? I didn't finish last? How you gonna come in and take the baton of the worst movie of the year like that? Coming off of $1 billion movie, and you didn't even want to test it? Remember what I talked about? When you're an artist, filmmaker, you have to respect the audience as well. You didn't even care to know what the audience would think. And what did I tell y'all? They're going to close up. And that's what happened. That's what happened. Like, you said, nah, I ain't screening. I'm not taking no notes from James Gunn and them. Oh, well. Oh, well. It says here that it had an outsized budget, which included $20 million up front for Joaquin Phoenix, $20 million for Phillips, and $12 million for Lady Gaga. And the film needed to make at least $450 million theatrically just to break even. 450. All right, let's see where they at. Let's see. Well, I'm just curious how far they are. Oh. It is currently at $121 million. You about 350 short. About 350, give or take. Yikes. Imagine a studio losing hundreds, not like 50, not like, oh, we broke even, so we wasted our time. Listen, I've tried to tell y'all, a movie has to make at least 2.5 times what it costs. You have to think about the time, the cost, the energy put into this. Don't nobody want to work for a year and a half to only make your same money back after you done spent a year working. Nobody wants to do that. Nah, you want your time, you want your money back, and you want some extra stuff to make up for that time too. But now, y'all 121, y'all in the hole. And this is one of the reasons why Phillips don't care. Because I told y'all that before. This man said he didn't have no plans for a sequel. And then the movie made $1 billion. And they said, here go a check for 20 million. He said, one movie coming right up. Oh, and by the way, y'all already paid. So y'all gonna get whatever I give you. Whatever I give you. I'm already paid. I got my 20 mil right now. I'm about to go to a ranch. I'm going on a ranch in Texas. I'm gonna give y'all whatever. I don't care what y'all do with this. And that's exactly what he did. Gotcha. Looking at WB right now. Gotcha. No one could get through to Todd Phillips, says a source. And the one thing about genre stuff, if you don't listen and pay attention to what the fan expectations are, you're going to fail. Woo! If that ain't a word, I don't know what is. If you don't know what the fans want, crazy concept. Crazy concept. Listen to the fans. Now listen. I know we just got done trashing Marvel over the whole Kang thing or whatever. But even though I don't fully agree with the decision of Downey as Doom and all of that, it's a gimmick that's still gonna sell. Marvel knows y'all like Robert Downey. Marvel, listen, y'all want Dr. Doom. They gave it to us. Now, it might not be a dish the way you exactly want it prepared, and you know what, but it's still gonna be delicious. We're still gonna show up and pay to watch it. Not nobody I know in their right mind is gonna sit here and be like, I'm not gonna watch this movie. Yeah, all right. So this man said, I'm just gonna be the complete opposite. I'm not gonna work with the studios, and I'm not gonna listen to the fans, and I'm not gonna listen to I'm gonna just do this myself. It says catering to the fan base was supposed to be the strategy. When Zaslav era began, the CEO touted the 10-year plan for DC that would make it that would take a page from the Marvel playbook, in which all films adhere to a singular vision, kind of like Kevin Feige. Yet somehow the Joker sequel was allowed to skirt that mandate, with Phillips operating in an alternate silo from the newly installed DC Chiefs. Not surprisingly, the core fans revolted, and the result is damage to the brand. Yep. Ooh, they said this is a speed 2 level of disaster. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. So some of y'all younger folks might not know this, but Keanu Reeves, Neo, y'all right? John Wick, for some of y'all, made a fantastic impression. I think his stardom went up high levels in that first movie, Speed. Smash hit, star Sandra Bullock, great film, fantastic film. And then Speed 2 came out. Keanu was nowhere to be found. He moved on, to other things. Sandra Bullock was still there, but with no Keanu, that movie bombed so hard. So hard. And that's basically what's happening here. That is basically what's happening here. Oh, they said a Speed 2 disaster. Yikes. So Joker Foley, I feel like has dug its own grave. And there's no one to blame but the director at this point. And probably the studio too. Because I would have been like, what you mean you're not gonna take notes from James Gunn? Excuse me. I cut the check. What? But then again, y'all did cut the check ahead of time. So my man was already paid. He was gonna do what he was gonna do anyway. Dang. Well, sorry. Anyway, what do y'all think about all this Joker drama with Todd Phillips and like the fact that they didn't want no screenings? He didn't want no advice or help from James Gunn. Like, my man was on one. And what do you think about the fact that this has flopped so bad? Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. Yikes. JN. Joker 2 flop. Superhero fatigue, right? Yeah. Right. It's gotta be the fatigue, right? I mean, Joker flopped, even though Deadpool made $1 billion. Fatigue. Thank you for that, JN. Appreciate you. Let's see. Wraith, what you got? Instead of making the same mistake that the comics made by making Falcon the new Captain America, they should have done a Falcon film and adapted the Priest Falcon miniseries from the early 80s. I don't know if that would have worked. I'm not familiar with the Priest run, so I'm not going to speak on that. What I'm saying is, I don't think the character that Marvel Studios built up warranted a movie. Now, if you were to tell me that Falcon should have gotten a series based off of that Priest run, okay, now I'm with you. I think that would have worked. So instead of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, if you would have done that as the series, I think that would have cooked just fine. But a Falcons movie with Mackie? Now who's showing up for that? I'm just saying. The character was already built up as a sidekick supporting character. That's not somebody that's gonna get and Mackie. It's not gonna get the butts and seats. So TV, if it was a Disney Plus series, I think you were right on point with that. But yeah, I don't think a movie would have worked. I don't care what the story is. I don't think that would have worked. Let's see. Tony, thank you so much. What you got? I really like Joker 2. All right. And kudos to Todd Phillips for not taking any of James Gunn or Peter Safran's notes and did something bold and risky, making it his own, kind of like what Rob Zombie did in Halloween 2. Sure. Hey, this is great for Todd Phillips. He got paid. He got a movie already under his belt. He got paid. He did his vision. Great. But I think that we have to be careful before we sit here and congratulate him. As I've said before, this is still a business, right? He can have this personal victory and rah cheer him on for it. But what does this say about other studios in the future that he works with? Are they going to look at him and be like, hey, are you going to do what you did over there to us? Because I would be suspect. If I was another studio, I'd be like, man, I don't want to work with somebody like that. I don't want to work with somebody that won't listen to me when I give him my money to make something. I want a partner that will collaborate. I want somebody that will work with me, not against me. So now, if he was retiring and done with filmmaking, hey man, you went out on your own how you wanted. That's great. But is this going to help or hurt your relationship with future studios? And let's just say, let's take the studios out of it. How does this work for his reputation with the fans, with audiences? People, I'm not saying everybody's going to remember who Todd Phillips is, but that might turn some other people off. Some other studio will be like, oh yeah, from the guy that brought you the Joker. Ah, nope. No, thank you. I'm out of here. So, is this really a celebration? I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. But thank you for that, Tony. I appreciate you. How we doing on time? 2 hours. Okay, we're good. Yep, we're good. Two things left. Jay Blink, what you got? I recall reading rumors that prior to James Gunn and Peter Safran, Zaslav ordered Todd Phillips to run the new DC, but not Matt Reeves. I would not doubt that, only because I do. I think we did talk about that. But that was not Todd Phillips like MO. Like he's not that guy for comic stuff like that. But Zaslav was also desperate. He wanted anybody. Like he was chasing that Marvel gold, and don't work that way. Okay, I'm gonna have to save yours, Chris, for a little later. Let me get through this first, and I'll come back to that. All right. It's time to call out Disney once again. I feel like Disney be just getting called out a whole lot lately. I don't know why, but it just seems like the thing to do. Disney's just been oof. Y'all remember that time they got called out for that lawsuit? The man and his wife who died of the allergies and all that stuff. But they said, hey, you signed on that little just Disney. What are y'all doing? And one thing I've told y'all is Disney cares about their image above everything. Everything. Okay. Like no matter what, they will lose money, but they don't want to lose their reputation and image. But hey, it is what it is. And guess what? We got a new challenger stepping up, calling out Disney, and it is Jodie Turner-Smith. Now, you might recall Jodie Turner-Smith was mother in the Acolyte series, and y'all know Disney owns Star Wars. Well, they own Lucasfilm, and that owns Star Wars. So she had some issues. She had some issues with Disney because if y'all didn't know, the Acolyte had a little controversy. It's been going through some issues, with some of the more toxic fans, right? Now, let's make a very clear delineation between this. Not talking about people that had issues with the show because of the writing, directing, flow, character, nothing like that. Talking about the people that were racist, talking about the people that were sexist, talking about the people that were bigoted against the LGBTQ people. That's what we're talking about. Those people are the toxic ones. Literally, no, I'm not even gonna go there. I was about to complain about somebody, but I ain't gonna go there. But Jodie had enough. She had enough, and she wanted to speak up about it. So let's go into what she had to say. She criticized Disney for not having Amanda Steinberg's back as she faced racism and online harassment for simply being cast in a Star Wars project. She said here, it's disappointing to feel like your studio is not having your back in a very public-facing way. So, in case you did not know, Amanda Steinberg, she was like the main character, right? Or characters. And yeah, just for her being cast, this is before anybody even saw the show, before anybody knew what it was about. People were the bigots and the racists were already coming at her. please do not come into these comments trying to defend anything because you are admitting that you were one of the people that said something racist or bigoted. If you did not say something racist or bigoted, this does not apply to you. Let me say it again. This does not apply to you if you did not say anything racist or bigoted. I keep telling y'all tell on yourselves so much. I don't know why y'all do this to yourselves. You tell on yourself because we're being very specific. This is specific. People that came in and said you're only a DEI hire or you are I don't know, whatever racist thing. Those are the people we are talking about. Stop coming in my comments, telling on yourselves, talking about, well, the studios lumped all of us together because we just didn't like the show. And we're not talking about you. The studio's not talking about you. Shut up. Please shut up. For your own sake, shut up. I too had problems with the show. Guess what? I don't get offended when the studio talks about people or if the cast talks about people that were racist or bigoted because I was not racist or bigoted. Stop telling on yourself. Golly. Sorry. Just I don't know why people are like this. I don't understand why y'all are like this. So weird. Anyway, Jody went on to say, they've got to stop doing this thing where they don't say anything when people are getting dogpiled on the internet with racism and BS. It's just not fair to not say anything. It's really unfair. It would just be nice if the people that have all the money were showing their support and putting their feet down. Say, this is unacceptable. You're not a fan if you do this. Making a really big statement and just see if any money leaves. If I bet you it won't, because people of color, and especially Black people, make up a very large percentage of the buying power. They might find that it's actually more lucrative for them, but everyone's using woke like it's a dirty word. Ooh, Jody said something here. Jody said a lot. I already told y'all people be using woke as a catch-all, really just because, one, you can't articulate your actual bigotry, and that's it. It's just a scapegoat for bigotry and all these other negative things. Because if you really had issues, you would just say them clearly. Hey, man, I didn't like this writing. The story was flat. Ooh, the plot was inessential. Oh, the character development wasn't good. If y'all really had problems, you would just say that. Why are you criticizing somebody's race? Why are you bringing up, why are you being a hater over someone's sexual preference? Or even though the show didn't even show you none of that. Like, what are you doing? But she's right. Because Disney, now I noticed maybe, I don't know if she's confusing Lucasfilm or not. And I will give Lucasfilm credit. They did finally speak up when Moses Ingram was being also attacked in her DMs, getting racist comments, harassing comments from bigots, from racists, from sexists. Again, we're not talking about people that had legitimate issues. We're talking about people that were being a-holes online. Ewan McGregor came out and said, like, hey, if you're doing stuff like this, you're not a Star Wars fan. Great. Good for that. Star Wars tried to be cute and they tried to be on brand. And they was like, there are 20 billion species out there in the galaxy. Please don't choose to be racist. Listen, as the sister just said, you don't have to be all cute about this. You don't have to be all on brand. Just say it. Hey, we are here. We care about this stuff. We want to tell good stories. There's no room for racism. There's no room for bigotry. There's no room for this kind of nonsense. There's no room for you harassing actors playing these roles. There's no room for that. That's it. They ain't got to be complicated. You ain't got to dress this up. We don't tolerate racism. We don't tolerate sexism. That's it. You don't like race. If you're racist, if you're sexist, don't watch our stuff. Be bold. You can say that. Lucasfilm, Disney, y'all can say that. Because here's the thing. Why would you not say that? Why would you want to be quiet and complicit with negativity like that? Why would you want to create a platform that racists and sexists and bigots are comfortable being in? Do their dollars matter that much to you? Or does your image? And I've already told y'all, Disney's image matters 10 times more than anything else. And that's why I think Jody is right. If you call this stuff out, if you show that you are just not with this, you not going to tolerate it. Now, they still going to scream. They still going to do whatever they going to do. That's fine. The toxic ones, they still going to do their things. But when you don't allow these things to be a safe haven for them, we'll still be here. Everybody else that's not part of that loud minority will still be here. And guess what? When you make great shows, we'll show up. You'll get the views, you'll get the money. Now, if you don't make a good show, it might die. It might die. But that's the business. Anyway, Turner Smith is staying optimistic. She's keeping her head up. When it comes to the future, she told Glamour that opinions change and what's in vogue changes. So she's hopeful that at some point toxicity grows or more muted. She said here, we're gonna get there at some point to that place where people have to having a stick up their butts about people of color being a part of IPs that were created by white people. You know why? Because we're never going to stop participating. And there you have it. And that's it. I totally support everything she says here. And she's right. You know, we shouldn't stop supporting these things, and I don't think we will stop. Because what was it? We saw a study. It was in the Hollywood Reporter that said that Hollywood was leaving billions, almost trillions of dollars on the table by not having authentic, diverse representation on screen. When you show these things from an authentic perspective, people tune in. And I can just tell you, just as a regular viewer, I am intrigued when I learn about, or if I see representation from another culture or another demographic or whatever that I'm not aware of. I'm interested. Be like, oh man, I didn't know about this. So anyway, what do y'all think about Jody's comments towards Disney? Do you believe that they could do something better, say something more? What do you think they should say? How do you think they should operate? Maybe it's a lost cause. Maybe it's too much, it's too scary, too big. I don't know, maybe. Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. All right, I gotta hurry up because I gotta roll and go get my daughter. Just a sec. Okay. Boy. Let's get into the thick of it. Into the thick of it. Let's talk about Green Lantern. So the Lantern controversy has been an interesting one. But before we get to that, so the DCU is creating a Lanterns TV show. So far, according to reports, this TV show is going to star the characters of Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart. Now, I was already a little off by this because they were saying that it was going to be an older Hal Jordan and a very much younger, Jon Stewart. And that, to me, that dynamic didn't really work too well for me. I was like, nah, man, like Jon Stewart's a grown man. He's a grown man. Now don't get me wrong. You could have a Hal Stewart who's experienced as a Green Lantern and a Jon Stewart who's a grown man and is just new to having these new alien powers. Okay, that's fine. But having a much younger, I didn't like that. Just didn't really work too well for me, especially based off of how the character has been depicted in cartoons and comics, etc. Right? So we found out that Kyle Chandler was going to become the new Hal Jordan. Okay, cool, whatever. I mean, he doesn't really move the needle for me. He's all right. Liked him in Friday Night Lights. He's an okay. Listen, insert generic actor here. Fine, whatever. Then we found out that there was a race. There was a contest between two people for the role of Jon Stewart, and it was going to be between Stephen James, who was in Race, and Aaron Pierre, who was in Rebel Ridge. All right. Now, I told y'all before, I didn't like either one of them. I didn't really want either one of them for this role for different reasons. If you want to know, go back and watch my other video where I explain that. But we got an answer. We got an answer of who is now our new Jon Stewart, and the winner is Aaron Pierre. So, let me first say very clearly, unequivocally, congratulations to Aaron Pierre. Okay? I am extremely happy for him personally of landing this role. This brother is very talented. I saw him in Old, the M. Night Shyamalan movie. I thought he was solid. This brother was very good, exceptionally good in Rebel Ridge. He carried the movie on his own, even though I hated Don Johnson, but he did his roles too. He can do action. He can do drama. The brother is talented. Okay. So I am extremely happy for him. I'm proud of him. And I'm wishing him the best in this role. I am going out of my way to make sure I watch this as well, because this is something that I am interested in as well. Is that clear? I hope that's clear. So, yours truly went online and I said, hey, I'm happy for this brother. Congrats. I love it. But I'm a little disappointed. Just a little. Because my brother's very light. And what I mean by light, he's a fair-skinned black man. And Jon Stewart has traditionally been portrayed as a darker-skinned character. So I made it a point to just point out the fact that, hey, while this is a good thing for him individually, it does play into the whole colorism that still exists in Hollywood. And let me be very clear. The colorism is a blind spot for many people. So, what I'm not saying James Gunn is racist and he only likes light-skinned black people. That is not what E-Man is saying. That's not what I'm saying. Because Stephen James was up there too, right? What I am saying is that in the industry as a whole, there has been a long track record of favoring lighter-skinned black people for roles over darker-skinned actors. So, is James Gunn some evil guy because he cast this light-skinned black man? No. He went through the casting process. I'm sure he earned his fine. But that doesn't mean that blind spots don't exist. Now, I'm going to take a little time to kind of talk to some people that don't really understand what colorism really is. Because I understand this is more, and I'm not saying it doesn't exist anywhere else, but I'm saying this is more of an African American issue. This is an issue that black people in America have to deal with more than white people do, than than brown people do, than people that live outside the United States that don't really understand it. I get it. I was literally having a conversation with somebody on one of the socials, and they were like, "I don't understand. What are you talking about? Like, you know, you have actors all the time, black actors all the time. I mean, you got Halle Berry, you have Will Smith, and then you have Sam Jackson, but they're all black." And I'm like, "Ooh, those are not the same. Those are not the same." And Halle Berry, even that would be a comparison of an instance of colorism in Hollywood. Let me explain, because some people will be like, "Yo, E-Man, hold on now. Angela Bassett did audition for the role of Storm, and they passed her up, and they gave it to Halle after that." My question is, why was Halle even in the running? Why was she even in the running? You have an African character who's supposed to be darker skinned, and why would you even audition Halle Berry? Let me tell y'all something else, in case y'all didn't notice. Do you know who else auditioned for Storm back in the day? Mariah Carey. Now, I don't know how true that is, but what I'm saying is, if that is true, why are they even being considered? What business does Mariah Carey have with Storm from the X-Men at all? At all. Again, this is the industry thing. Let's look at X-Men 97. Bo DeMayo talked about how y'all don't believe me. Hold on. Y'all don't believe me. So y'all don't believe me. Just look at the evidence. Y'all know I got receipts. Y'all know this. Bo DeMayo. Remember that chocolate sister Storm in X-Men 97? He said that he got pushback from Marvel for darkening their characters so much. Even Sunspot. Sunspot is a light-skinned black man. Brazilian. He, like, what? This is what we talk about when we talk about colorism. Now, let me talk to the people who are not from the States. You're not from the US, or maybe you're white, maybe you're brown, maybe you don't understand the history behind this. Okay? Colorism has deep roots in American history. It originates from slavery. I know. Ooh, slavery. But it continued ever since then through segregation and different forms of discrimination. It's basically the preferential treatment of lighter skinned individuals, and it permeates in different sectors of society, including Hollywood. Okay, so Hollywood is not exempt from this. Lighter skinned black actors would usually be favored to do leading roles, while darker skinned actors face more barriers when it comes to like getting prominent roles in mainstream media. Let me give you another example, because again, y'all don't be believing me. Zoe Zaldana. Do y'all remember? I'll give it to you. Nina Simone. Do y'all remember Zoe Zaldana, who was picked to play Nina Simone, which made no sense, because Nina Simone was a person who was of dark skin complexion. Here we go. So y'all have reference. This is Nina Simone. This is Zoe Zaldana. Why was she even considered for auditioning or even just getting the role? This is what I'm talking about. She was so light that they had to darken her skin just to look like Nina Simone. And later, she went off and she had to apologize. She had to apologize for this. because this was a blind spot. This is what I'm talking about. She did, for whatever reason, Zoe, who I don't know, she got her own little issues with blackness, but for whatever reason, she didn't realize that she had no business playing a darker skinned woman. When and if you sit here and act like, oh man, but nobody else could play that, stop it. That's don't put that ignorance on display. There are plenty of dark-skinned black actresses who can sing, by the way, that would have been fantastic as Nina Simone. I forget the sister's name. She was in Orange is the New Black. She played Crazy Eyes. She would have killed that role. So, colorism is an issue that stems from white supremacy ideology. Now, listen to me carefully. White supremacy ideology is a mindset that does not mean you walk around with a white, cover over your face and you part of the KKK. It's an ideology that lets you believe that whiteness is normal, that whiteness is the standard, that whiteness is the greatest, most beautiful thing, and anything that looks opposite to that is not okay. But colorism is basically saying, hey, the closer I get to whiteness, the better it is. So if you're light skinned, but you're not that dark skinned, that's more acceptable in comparison. That's where colorism comes from. So now that we got that out the way, I want to also address one of those comments that people say, well, black is black. Black is black. He's black. His parents are black. That's fine. And you're right. You're right. Black is black until it's not. And that's why colorism is a problem. Black is not black if all you do is pick light-skinned people. Then it's not black. And here's the thing. It would be true in the inverse as well. If Hollywood only picked dark-skinned black people and never showed nobody else, that would be colorism also. It goes both ways. But when the industry has shown a preferential historic trend of favoring lighter tones over darker tones, showing you like go back to the TV shows where whenever somebody was bringing in a beautiful woman, oh, but it's the light-skinned one that's the real pretty girl, but the dark-skinned one is just the ugly friend that stays on the side. That's part of colorism. That again is part of the issue that black people have to juggle. Okay, this is not an issue that white people have to think about. This might not be an issue that some brown people have to think about. Black people have to think about it. Light-skinned folks have to think about it because they're getting vilified by dark-skinned folks, and dark skins have to think about it because they're insecure because the history has told them that they were always lesser than. Again, this goes back decades, centuries. It's a mindset that's a problem with this. So black is black until it's not. So let's kind of leave that failed excuse away. And by the way, I already told y'all from the very beginning, I'm rooting for this brother. I'm rooting for everybody black. But that doesn't mean that we can't call out a systemic industry trend. Also, we can walk and chew bubblegum at the same time. Okay? So I really want people to stop with this idea that we, especially as black folks, can only be emotionally one-dimensional. Guess what? As a black man, I'm allowed to be happy for this brother and disappointed in the industry that continues this trend. I can do both. Now, let me also kind of give some props, because while this is an industry issue, it is some positives out there. And let me bring y'all back to Amanda Steinberg. Now, y'all remember her from The Acolyte? Did you know that Amanda was actually going to be, or at least maybe auditioning to be, in Black Panther? Not only was she going to be in Black Panther, she was going for the role of Shuri. Shuri. who is now played by Letitia Wright. But she didn't do it. And listen to what she had to say. She said, I was in the audition process for Shuri. Then I decided not to continue with the process because I thought that it wouldn't be right for me as a biracial, light-skinned American to be playing the role. Steinberg added, I don't think visually it would have made sense, and it wasn't appropriate for me to go after that role. Black Panther is one of those only films that we have that has darker skin representation, and that is what's so beautiful about it. That's what Zoe Saldana should have said when she was even considering looking at that Nina Simone like thing. That's exactly what she should have been thinking. That's probably, and I love my girl Hallie. I love her. But that's probably what she should have thought too. Storm, oh, let me see the comics. Wait a minute. This is a dark sister. Why y'all want me to do? You know what? Let's leave that to somebody else. So let me be very clear. I don't believe that lighter skinned black actors need to just throw away opportunities and just say no. I don't think they need to do that. But I would say that it would be appreciated. It would be appreciated that if you got all these offers because you're that light-skinned beauty, and meanwhile, this other talented, dark-skinned, actor who's never been considered as a beauty, maybe they get a chance of that role. This is something that Viola Davis has talked about extensively. How she would talk about she just wasn't attractive enough for certain roles. This is a beautiful woman. She is a beautiful dark woman, but because of the standards and the mindset, she was never considered that way. That's colorism. A little racism. It stems from racism, but it's also colorism. Now, I know I probably lost some of y'all because this is getting too woke. It's getting way too woke up in here. And I know y'all don't like the wokeness. That's okay. Because I'm going to bring it back. Y'all know I come with the receipts. Let's talk about the comics. Because I've had some people come at me and be like, but man, haven't you seen Jon Stewart in the comics? This man was light-skinned back then. Well, sir, let me tell you something. Back in the day, and when I mean back in the day, I'm talking about like way back, 60s, 70s. Black characters, first of all, if they wasn't shucking and jiving or being a gangster or something else, the way that they were portrayed was light, very light brown, or if you happen to be very dark skinned, you were gray. Yeah, gray. That's the way black people were portrayed when they were reading comics back in the day. You was either light skinned, light brown, or you were straight up gray. But Jon Stewart was a character. He was one of DC's first black characters. The same way T'Challa was created to be an anti-stereotype. He wasn't a gangster. He wasn't this. He wasn't that. Like, he was an African king from an uncolonized, unenslaved, nation. He was smart. He was strong. He was everything that the other black characters weren't, to try to elevate him. That's what Jon Stewart was supposed to be. The creator was Neil Adams. Rest in peace. I believe he just passed away last year. Neil Adams, a white man at that, a white guy, created Jon Stewart. And I'm not going to do the whole thing, but y'all know I come with receipts. So let's just look at one. Let's look at something. So that's Neil right there. Okay. Neil is on the left. And this man, I'm not going to play the whole thing about like the whole story of his creation. If you can, definitely go check it out. But I'm going to keep it on topic in terms of like how Jon Stewart looks. Because he was calling out DC's terrible representation with minority characters. They had Asian characters that were very stereotypically horrible. And their track record with black characters was terrible as well. But listen to the creator of Jon Stewart in regards to Jon Stewart and how he looks. And y'all tell me if I'm being too woke with this or not.
He said, you do it. I said, fine, Jon Stewart. I colored Jon Stewart medium dark brown. Mm-hmm. Now, up to that point in comic books, if you ever read comic books, you couldn't read comic books in those days. Up to that point, black people are colored light brown, like you.
Okay.
And
he don't look all that black. I'm just saying. He just okay.
I colored him medium dark brown.
Yeah.
So head of production came to me, along with Julie Schwartz, and said, Neil, we noticed you colored this Jon Stewart guy kind of dark brown. I said, yeah. He said, well, are you sure you want him dark brown? Because generally when we do black people, we color them light brown. No, I think we're going to go with that. Well, you know, it's not going to take any. You could just change the numbers on the colors and it could be a light brown. I said, no, we're not going to do that. We're just going to leave it this way. Are you sure? Are you sure you want to do that? I said, I'm pretty damn sure, guys, that we want to do that. And they said this, which is hard to believe in the context of today.
Yeah.
Sal Harrison said, are you sure black people won't be offended?
Oh. Wow.
I said, Sal, I think they've been offended for about 50 years.
Yeah, yeah.
There are people who are reasonable people that you remind them and they go, yeah, that's kind of true. I mean, that's one of the ways I won all my battles. I mean, Sal Harrison and Julie Schwartz admitted later on that I was totally 100% right.
And he's still right. And he's still right. Shout out to Neil Adams. Rest in peace. I see here that he passed in 2022. But that was the point. That was the point. Jon Stewart was created with the intention of representing darker skinned black characters. So, for a lot of y'all that are just like, hey, let's stick to the comics. Hey, why don't we stick to the comics? To me, and let me be very clear about this as well, I don't actually care if a lot of characters get race swapped or anything, or if they get lighter, darker. If we're being honest, look at Blade. Blade started off a little dark. Wesley came in dark. I know we don't acknowledge him, but Sticky Fingers was kind of light. I don't care. I'm fine with it. I don't care. You can have both coexist, and it's fine by me. But I think that when a character is created with a specific purpose and there's intention behind that, and especially if it has to do with their race, their gender, if that's baked into why they were created, I think that should be respected. T'Challa was created to be strong, black, intelligent, etc., etc. Like, he was the epitome of black representation, and everything else should come from that. He was positive black representation. That should be respected. It's almost like this. Imagine Wonder Woman being created to be the symbol of strong feminine, right? Strong femininity, right? You would never, ever, in nobody's right mind, see James Gunn or somebody portray Wonder Woman in a submissive, feeble, like weird, type of manner, because it goes against why the character was created. That's not the symbol that she's made for. So when I talk about the representation on screen, again, this is not a slight against Aaron Pierre. Brother, do your thing. Get paid, do your thing. But for people in the industry, James Gunn, I'm not going to say Kevin Feige because they do have a good representation so far, but like this is a wake-up call. This is something to get you all aware, because I promise you this. This is why I say this is a blind spot, because James Gunn cares specifically about Superman. He grew up on him. He loved the Superman movies. He read all the comics. He's directing and writing the Superman movie. James Gunn would never make some sort of mistake like this with the Superman casting. I bet you this as well. James Gunn would never hire a brown-skinned black person to play Superman. Not that I would be mad about it, but I'm just saying he would never do that. And this is not to say that there's anything malicious on his part. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying he's like out there just looking only, he doesn't like black people. I'm not saying none of that negative stuff. What I'm saying is he cared so much about Superman that he wouldn't be blind to making any type of mistake like that. But when it comes to Jon Stewart, and I'm a little surprised as the head of DCU, you didn't know that the intention of Neil Adams was to have this character be portrayed as a darker skinned person. So you go high. Why was Aaron Pierre even in the running? Not saying he doesn't deserve his accolades. I want this brother to shine, but I'm just saying, why was he even in the running? Why didn't you just sit here and be like, nah, you know what? Man, this is the one character that they really want him to be darker skinned. Let's get a pool of dark skinned actors. I don't know, Aldous Hodge, Trevante Rhodes, like there are other actors out there that could do this. Anyway, I think that covers it all. What do you guys think about the Aaron Pierre casting? Like I said, I'm still showing up. I'm still watching. I'm still supporting the brother because this is not his fault, in my opinion. Would I have appreciated if he would have gotten it and turned it down? Absolutely. I would have appreciated it. But I'm not, bro, if you're going to make your money, make your money. Do your thing. But I am disappointed. I'm disappointed in the industry. And I'm disappointed that this is still a thing. That's all. So anyway, you guys let me know. What do you think about the Lanterns casting? Feel free to let me know what you think in the comments down below. All right. That is it. Reagan, what you got? Rebel Ridge was such a pleasant surprise. Not usually into Netflix movies. Aaron Pierre was really good in the movie. He'll probably do a good job as GL. Yeah. And this is why I'm not questioning his talent. This is why, like, it's like, because people were sitting here telling me this on my comments, and they were like, but he's gonna do a good job. He's a good actor. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Like I said, he was a good talent. Like, are you arguing with it? Like, I don't know. Like, we agree. Like, what are we talking about? So yeah, no, I believe he will be a good Jon Stewart. I believe he will be a good one. Yes, that no argument for me. Quiet one, what you got? I give Disney, Lucasfilm points for inclusion in different races, but got to take a points away for remaining silent during racial and sexist bullying. Yeah, I think that is totally fair. Totally fair. And thank you for that. Very, very fair. Natalie, I came in on the right topic. Yes, you did. Thank you so much for being here. Chris, off subject. If the movie Less Than Zero was remade, who would replace Robert Downey Jr.'s character? Julian. Happy birthday to Mrs. E Man. Thank you so much for that. I don't know. I don't remember. I never saw Less Than Zero. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry. I can't even give you one. Maybe the chat can this was in 87. Bro, I was barely walking. I was barely walking at that time. I don't know this movie. I'm sorry. But thank you for that. Thank you. Yeah, that's before my time, bro. I can't even comment. All right, guys, that is all for tonight. I've got to run. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. By the way, we do have From coming up. Please, if you're watching From, don't miss this episode. This episode right here. Ooh, this episode 4. So stay tuned for that. Matter of fact, I gotta hurry up and put my little breakdown up soon. But yeah, you'll definitely want to catch that. It is coming up. And you don't want to miss it. But anyway, thank you so much. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend. You know the routine, wash your hands, wash your butts, and everything in between. Until next time, peace.